They call it the big time. Got your name in lights. Now you're gonna shine. Got 'em in your sights.
Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio begins now.
Cardinal Baseball Live here on Tradio. So glad you're spending your afternoon with us, and happy Friday afternoon. Rusty Greer with his lineup card. He takes it for the home plate meeting, and he takes his team into this game with an impressive record to begin the season. If you're just joining us, our second broadcast of the day here on Tradio, it was Grapevine who beat Centennial 8-1 for the final score. Now Fort Worth Christian in our edition of Cardinal Baseball Live here on Tradio. They will get a crack now at the Titans of Centennial out of Frisco. I am Will Connerly. He is Jeff Knipper. Tim Polster directing the show. Trey Bell operating a camera. We've got a crew out here as well. And before we continue to talk about all of that, we have to talk about the Fort Worth Christian Cardinals. They're 8-1 to start the year. So impressive for what Rusty Greer has done. Jeff, in the two games yesterday, they scored a total of 23 runs. They win 13-5 against Denison, and then a 10-3 win over the Heritage Varsity Coyotes out of Frisco. Now they take on Centennial, two teams that are in the same district. We'll see what they can do. But 13-5, then 10-3. After all of that blabber by me, now I want to hear your analysis of what we saw yesterday, and for Fort Worth Christian, what we can expect today.
Well, the Cardinals offensively have been impressive. I've seen 3 games from them so far, and yesterday was even better offensively than what I saw from them last week. We know Grady Emerson had that moonshot he hit, and love seeing that replay of that this morning on social media. But the rest of the team backed it up too. I know the leadoff hitter, Griffin Carney, had 3 hits yesterday and just set the table for them all day. Braylon James also had a hit or two that I recall that drove in some runs, and the freshman, I know Jacob Ward had a big hit in that game. They hit several balls to right center that and they turned into extra bases out there. Pitching wise, I think Coach Greer probably that was the one side of the house that he probably wasn't all that happy with. They had more walks than he would have liked to seen from the starter. Smed, I believe, had at least 3 or 4 walks in his 3 or 4 innings of work. The reliever that came in behind him also probably had more walks than Coach Greer would have liked to seen. But every time the opposition got a little close, that Cardinals offense stepped up and stretched out that lead again. So they responded. It'll be interesting to see what today's starting pitcher for the Cardinals, Jacob Pegg, brings to the hill. But the rest of the lineup, to me, looked to be about the same lineup we saw yesterday. Mentioned Griffin Carney. He'll be in that leadoff spot playing second base again. Grady Emerson in the 2-hole again, playing shortstop. And then Braylon James, he's playing center field, hitting third. Okay, we're gonna take a break here, and we'll be right back with you here in a second.
Fort Worth Christian School is Christ-centered college preparatory school where every student is known, loved, and valued. At FWC, students are challenged to pursue excellence in the classroom, in competition, and in their faith, all while being equipped with a strong biblical worldview. From standout academics and championship athletics to award-winning fine arts and a vibrant student community, Fort Worth Christian is preparing tomorrow's leaders today. We invite you to discover the difference for your family. Visit fwc.org to learn more, schedule a personal tour, and experience Fort Worth Christian for yourself.
Thank you so much for joining the game with us today. We hope you are enjoying this presentation of Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. We have a target of 20,000 channel subscribers before the end of this spring. We need your help to reach that goal. So please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and pick a friend or family member to whom you can share the game. We are happy you are watching and hope you consider becoming a member for access to different member-only content.
Alrighty, here we go. Jacob Pegg, a junior right-hander, gets the start. Fort Worth Christian, pair of wins yesterday. And the first in for a strike here to Hayden O. We are underway. Fort Worth Christian and Centennial, the Titans and the Cardinals. The Cardinals 8-1 on the year. And they scored 23 combined runs in their doubleheader yesterday, an 0-2 count. With Pegg pitching, excited to see what he could do, Jeff. The junior right-hander, definitely with some quality stuff out there on the hill. And for him, it is just his second appearance. He pitched against Liberty Christian, an inning and 2/3 on the 7th, 31 pitches. Did not allow an earned run, so perhaps a more extended look at the right-hander popped up on the infield. Grady Emerson is there to make the grab. There's one out.
Yeah, Pegg looks like he's got a decent fastball. He's about 6'2", would be my guess. We don't have that on their roster, but fairly decent-sized kid. Interesting that Hayden O was leading off right there for the Titans. I don't think he hit in the game against the Mustangs when he was the starting pitcher, but
no, he was leadoff man.
Okay.
Wasn't he?
What? Short-term memory is
no,
not there.
I could be wrong, Jeff, but I'm almost certain he was the leadoff man. But he didn't. You're right. He didn't hit. He went 0 for 3. If I recall.
No, you're right. Actually, he was at the top of their lineup.
Did draw a walk and scored their only run.
Yeah, had a good swing, so it makes sense that he was hitting.
Probably their best hitter. The MIT commit, though, who pitched against the Mustangs in Game 1. The best player in their district last year.
Good fastball right there from Pegg to get a strike on the outer half.
So Pegg lifted towards foul territory. It drops. So we'll give you the defensive alignment. Ridgel is out there in left field for Fort Worth Christian. Again, it is Jacob Pegg getting the nod on the hill, his second appearance and first start. You got Andrew Ridgel in left, Braylon James in center, Jacob Ward, the freshman, in right, McDonald and Emerson on the left side of the infield, Carney and Andujar on the right side. It's Pegg working with Hank Austin behind the plate. Swing and a miss. Pegg with the punch out. Nice start, 2 up, 2 down.
Good high fastball right there with an 0-2 count to get that strikeout. You know, Will, I feel like the crowd's a lot thinner today than it was yesterday. There's some fair weather fans here in the Metroplex. I don't blame them, though. Stay home and watch the game on Tradio. A lot more comfortable.
True. When you get to hear the calm, cool, and comfortable voice of Jeff Knipper, I mean, you might as well.
That center field shot tells the story right there. There's a lot of empty bleachers behind home plate.
So Matthew Achanes, the first baseman, up at the plate. First 2 miss outside the zone. It was a pop-up to Grady Emerson, a strikeout to Carter. And this Centennial squad just fell to Grapevine. The Mustangs moving to 3-0 on the year. In the game, the Titans only managed to get 1 hit. They scored 1 run, which came in the final inning, the top of the 6th. So we'll see if that offense can't get going here in the second of this doubleheader. And the right-hander, Jacob Pegg, kicks, delivers. Blowing out.
You mentioned he hadn't pitched since February 7th. A little surprised he's gone almost 2 weeks between outings because looks good from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, same story with Greg Smeds and what we saw yesterday. Did not pitch last week. That is fired in there, and believe there was a little bit of a sickness going around the clubhouse. So I had a couple of guys down last week, but he did go an inning and 2/3 against Liberty Christian, a very talented offense. Didn't allow a run, had just a couple hits allowed, no strikeouts, but already has registered 1. As that is popped up, left side, McDonald chasing forward in foul territory. He makes the grab, and the side is retired in short order by Jacob Pegg. He goes 1, 2, 3. The Cardinals, high-powered offense, to the plate next on Tradio. Bottom of the first inning, no score. And Griffin Carney, the table setter for Rusty Greer's lineup, will come up to the plate, a Cardinals team. Albeit through 9 games, somewhat of a small sample size. It's not a small size in terms of the team batting average. They're hitting .333 as a team through 9 games. And Carney watches the first, getting on base 47% of the time as a team. So those are some pretty lofty numbers for this Cardinals offense. They are manufacturing a lot of runners on the base paths, and Carney looking to get aboard here. He's hustling down the line. Carter to first, but not in time. Unable to be dug out by Achanes, and the speedy Griffin Carney, who was all over the base paths yesterday, is able to get aboard as Achanes couldn't make the scoop on the throw from Evan Carter at short.
Yeah, no surprise the Cardinals put up double digits yesterday. If they're getting almost half of their hitters on base, that's a very lofty on-base percentage.
For the year.
Yeah.
That's crazy, isn't it?
47% of the time.
And the guy at first, well, he is known to run quite a bit. He leads the team. Pretty crazy to think about this for a team that stole nearly 100 bags a year ago. They've already swiped 39 bases as a team. And the leader in that department, Griffin Carney, he has taken 11 bases. He looks for his 12th, and he has it. Oh, no, he is out at second. It appeared as though Carney got in time.
He definitely beat the throat of the bag, unless they're saying he came off the bag.
Well, here's another look at this replay. Carney looking for his 12th stolen base.
Got a huge jump.
And here is the replay. There's Carter.
See, his hand's on the bag right there.
Yeah, he was clearly in there in time.
I don't know if they're saying he came off the bag. That was not even close.
Yeah. I mean, we were already saying it's a dozen swiped bags for Griffin Carney, but instead he is called out, despite maybe the replay showing us a different result. Even to the naked eye, it really did look like he got in there. Anyway, it'll be one gone now here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, they're not going to change that call, but I guess they're saying he came off the bag somehow.
Didn't look like it to us, though, here. But so Carney, who multiple times this year he's got on to start a game and taken second and third, but he gets caught stealing for the second time this season.
That's a hit.
Grady Emerson rips it, and he stays red hot as he rips it to center field. And for those counting at home, Grady Emerson now has 13 hits and 23 at-bats as he has a single with 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. That's a .565 batting average for those counting at home.
Well, I started to say not only is he getting on base more than 47% of the time, he's getting hits more than 47% of the time, which is ridiculous.
So a .565 mark now for Grady Emerson.
Oh, is that fair?
And they called a foul ball.
Okay, yeah. Must have been off his foot. Will, that sun is trying to peek out, and man, it feels good.
It really does. So Emerson at first.
I was just going to say the forecast says it's going to be 62 today, but I'm going to have to see it to believe it.
Check swing. Emerson gets to second, and the throw over allows Braylon James to reach first. A couple miscues allowing runners to get on the corner. So Grady Emerson, who's 11 for his last 15 at the plate, now at third base. Braylon James reaches and gives an opportunity here to Jake Parkerson. with runners on the corners.
You got that first and third spot right here. We'll see if they try and send that runner from first to draw a throw to second. Not going. Coach Greer wants to let that cleanup hitter, Parkerson, get a swing.
Jake Parkerson riding a 6-game hitting streak. And they check on the runners on the corners. He had 5 runs driven in yesterday. And he has at least 1 RBI in 5 straight games, at least 1 hit in 6 straight for the Cardinals cleanup man. And again, that 4 RBI game in the second of the doubleheader. Yes, sir, you started shaking your head. I know we were doing the math and carrying the 565 average for Emerson, but you shake your head when I tell you 11 for your last 15 at the plate. I mean, you don't know what else to say, right?
Yeah, those numbers are just video game numbers. But, yeah, not surprised Parkerson has his RBIs because we talked about it yesterday. James is going to hit with guys on base, and so is Parkerson. When you've got Carney and Emerson hitting ahead of you, those guys are going to be on base a lot and give you a lot of RBI opportunities. Of course, occasionally Emerson's going to clear the bases like he did yesterday.
So Parkerson looking for some more RBIs. He's got runners now on second and third. And that's bounced. Parkerson, RBI total for him is up to 9 now on the season. That's second only to Grady Emerson on the team in the RBI department. And again, 5 consecutive games with at least 1 run driven in. And 4 yesterday in the second of the doubleheader, and 5 overall between the 2 games. He's got a friendly 3-1 count, and that is ball 4. So a little bit of trouble here in the bottom of the first inning. The Cardinals manufacturing some base runners, and the bases now loaded as Rispo, the starter for the Titans, will have to work to a man who hit with the bases loaded yesterday and delivered, Blaine McDonald. He had 8 RBIs yesterday between the 2 games.
Wow. The game I saw, I believe he had an RBI double off the wall out there, and that might have been that bases loaded clearing double he had. That was a rocket he hit.
He cleared the bases yesterday as well in the second game with a double, as that is behind the backstop. Warren Dyke, it allows Emerson to come across and score. Runners advance to second and third, and the Cardinals take a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, the Titans have helped him out a little bit here. That was probably a pass ball. I'd call that one.
So McDonald with 8 RBIs, 3 hits, 2 of them doubles in the doubleheader yesterday. Watches for a strike. So Emerson comes across to score after getting things started with a single. It was back-to-back singles, actually, to begin the game, but Griffin Carney got called out trying to steal second when on a play we thought, well, perhaps he may have been safe. He got called out, but then Grady Emerson singles and Braylon James reaches first on an error, followed by a Parkerson walk, and now it brings up Blaine McDonald.
Yeah, the Cardinals got a chance here to blow it open early.
McDonald hitting a couple balls off the wall yesterday. The junior showcasing his power. Mentioned his ability on the hill has been pretty impressive too. But we'll see if he can handle the bat in this situation with 2 in scoring position. Rispo kicks, delivers, and caught looking for strike 3 is Blaine McDonald. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning, and McDonald called out on strikes. So that'll bring up the backstop, Hank Austin. The senior catcher, first pitch swinging, pops it up towards right, giving some chase, but dropping in foul territory.
That right fielder was a long way off the line and just too much ground to cover to get there.
It's Weilbacher out in right field for the Titans. Skied on the infield. And the first baseman, Achanes, makes the grab. The side is retired, but not before the Cardinals bring one across. 1 run, 2 hits, 2 left, 1 air, and we send it to the second. 1-0 Cardinals on Cardinal Baseball Live. Back to action here in the top of the second inning. It was a quality inning of work for the right-hander. Second turn for Jacob Pegg. First time getting the start. Mentioned tossed on opening weekend. He fires a strike to begin the top of the second.
Yeah, I was looking at his birth date. He's not even 17 years old yet, so he's got another couple years to mature a bit.
That is a mature swing, but you got a guy out there in right, Jacob Ward, who you want to look at his birthday, and he was a freshman born in 2010. So the young freshman out in right. Got a birthday coming up in a couple of months, the 25th of April. But he makes the grab. that's even crazy. You got 15-year-old freshman out and right.
Yeah, we talked about that briefly yesterday, but there's a big gap between 15 and 18 years old. So obviously a talented kid to be able to step into the lineup as a freshman.
So Spencer Llewellyn flies out to right. Kason Cox, the center fielder, got a pretty good hold of it, but he was well out ahead of it.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a changeup, but he pulled that one over the third base dugout just about. Just noticed that home dugout is connected to a clubhouse. That's really nice here at the high school level. I'm guessing that's their locker room. You don't see, I know Grapevine doesn't have that luxury, and I don't recall any of the teams in our district having a clubhouse connected to their dugout.
That came in and hit Kason Cox. He'll take first base. Not to cut off your comment about the clubhouse, that is pretty fantastic. And at Keck Horton Field for Fort Worth Christian, they have a similar setup on that third base side, the home dugout. Haven't been in there yet. Would love the opportunity at some point to check out the facility. It is a great facility over in North Richland Hills, Texas, where Fort Worth Christian's campus is located, but it's something to that effect as well, where they have something behind the dugout, another room, locker room, where the team can meet and things of that regard.
Yeah, no, that's first notch for a high school program. But
that's not what you had growing up on the Gulf Coast?
Believe it or not, at South Alabama, we didn't even have a locker room that connected to the dugout. We didn't have a locker room on the facility or on the at the field.
And Sales goes right back to the catcher. With that concrete right there, there's so much room here at Wiley East behind the dish. It really forces, pitchers and catchers with the pass balls and wild pitches, not only can a base easily be taken, sometimes two, you get situations like that where it can ricochet right back to you at the concrete.
Yeah, it does. The big area doesn't seem to come into play as much as you think because of that ricochet. What a good breaking pitch right there by Peg.
Fired in for a strike. Peg, mentioned just a young junior right-hander who looks in. Weilbacher at the plate, and he fouls it back. Inning started with a fly out by Llewellyn out to right field, and then on a 2-1 pitch, it was Kason Cox who was hit. Bringing up Weilbacher to the plate. And
I think he went right there. Let's see.
He does go around for strike three. The second punch out for Jacob Pegg, and it'll bring up Carter Hughes here, the third baseman, with 2 outs, a runner at second base. And a 1-0 ball game here for Fort Worth Christian. Well, upstairs, a 1-0 count. Pegg has showcased fastball, breaking ball mixture so far. You see Grady Emerson. He gives some signs to Pegg before he goes and delivers. Rusty Greer in the dugout, the head coach, does a lot of the pitch calling, relaying those signs to the catcher, Hank Austin.
Okay. Yeah, that's most high school teams. It seems the head coach is the one calling the pitches. But I guess Emerson's given him a sign as to whether or not there'll be a pickoff move. We're going to have a mound visit here by the pitching coach. I wonder if maybe
John Hampton making his way out there.
They're having maybe not on the same page as far as the signs. I don't know. Maybe it's a 2-0 count, so maybe he's just coming in to discuss the ball strike situation.
Yes.
But yeah, Emerson's, I'm sure, given Peg signs as to whether or not there'll be a pickoff attempt at second base. I don't know what else he would be signaling, and that's I honestly haven't seen shortstops give signals to the pitcher before, but I don't know what else that could be related to other than a pickoff move. I mean, you do, especially with 2 outs, you do want to keep that runner close at second, and that way give your outfield a chance to throw him out if there's a single to the outfield. So this is even more so than a typical runner at second base with 2 outs, especially because with 2 outs he's moving on contact.
So you've got Hughes at the plate, Peg on the hill after the visit from the pitching coach, John Hampton. It's blocked for the moment by Austin. He eats it. And moving from second to third.
Yeah, good block by Austin. The ball just bounced too far away and gave that runner a chance to get to third base there.
So Cox now 90 feet away from tying the ball game. Hughes looking all the way, and he watches for strike one. Starting to warm up a little bit, you'd say. Not as much gusts of winds that we had earlier in the day that had those wind chills in the 30s. Swing and a miss, 3-2 count now.
Yeah, good fastball right there. Yeah, we had that wind in our face in that first game, and there it is right there, but it feels like it has calmed a bit. No doubt. I'm sure the viewers can hear it on our microphone.
Fouled away. So now here in Wiley, Texas, it is 57 degrees. It feels like 48. The high expected to get up to 62 today. That'll be a little bit later this afternoon. Sunny conditions expected, though, around 1 o'clock or just shy of that. 7 minutes until the top of the hour. But the gusts up to 15, 20 miles per hour at times this morning. Had those wind chills down in the 30s. Hughes walks. He'll reach first. Runners on the corners now. And an opportunity right now for the Titans with runners on the corners. 2 down. Dimitri Lagusis, the left fielder, up to the plate. Peg missing high, so command for these Cardinal pitchers. That has been probably the one thing you can point to and nitpick at a team that is 8-1 is at times they have had pitchers struggle to find the zone, and Peg trying to work around a hit by pitch and now walk in this inning. And the first 2 miss outside the zone here to Dimitri Lagusis.
Yeah, as Coach Greer talked about in his interview, you just can't defense a walk. And I think a lot of the runs they've given up have been because of those base on balls. And here we are 3-0 and threatening to put another runner on base.
They've thrown, coming into this game today, 46 innings. They have 45 walks, so about a walk per inning. They have actually walked batters more times this year than they have struck them out, and with 2 walks now in this inning and 2 in the ball game, it's up to 47 walks issued by Fort Worth Christian pitchers and 47 2/3 innings, so nearly a walk per inning. It is something that they've been able to overcome because they're scoring about 10 runs a game, but It's definitely allowed teams to create some traffic on the base paths in the early going of the season. Trying to see who can throw strikes for this Cardinals squad, and Peg struggling to do that right now. A hit by pitch and a pair of walks in this inning has loaded up the bases. Miles Wartendijk now up at the plate with an opportunity. Bases full of Titans here in a one-run ball game.
Yeah, that's a lot of guys to give free passes, and basically it's a single an inning you're putting on base.
Peg, pitch count already at 37 through an inning and 2/3 of action. Bases loaded for the Titans at the 9-hole at the plate. And he fires it in the upper portion of the strike zone, a 2-1 count.
Yeah, you see someone down in the Cardinals bullpen getting loose in a hurry. Number 14, it looks like, Ben Rodriguez. We saw him pitch yesterday.
We've seen him pitch quite a bit. One of the most utilized arms, at least in terms of appearances in this young season for Rusty Greer. The side-winding submariner. He's only totaled 3 innings on the year. He's already thrown 4 times, and it looks like we could see a 5th outing for him here today with him already getting loose in the pen. But Peg 3-0, trying to avoid walking in a run. 3-1 rather, now 3-2. So a full count for the righty Jacob Peg. The bases are loaded here for the 9 spot, and both dugouts becoming engaged. Titans trying to tie up the game or perhaps more. Cardinals trying to strand the bases loaded. And Peg looking in for the signs. Big pitch awaits. Runners off. And Peg with a punch out. No runs, no hits, no errors. 3 left, 1-0 score. We go to the bottom of the second. 1-0.
I was just going to say, Peg worked himself out of the jam he created there, but you load those bases like that, and eventually you're going to get burned by a team that's going to get a big hit and clear those bases. I think it's Andujar at the plate.
A ball and a strike. Andujar grounds it to Carter at short. He's on to first in time. And the first Cardinal, Antonio Andujar, retired to begin the bottom of the second inning. So, Jeff, they handled the ground ball. We saw the Titans have struggles with that on a Braylon James ground ball to the right side in the first inning. That certainly allowed the Cardinals to eventually score a run after an E4. And a quick 0-2 count. Now in the works after Andujar grounds out. So Rispo trying to settle into this outing. Caden Rispo, the right-hander, kicks and delivers, and that's grounded right side and foul. So another opportunity for the senior Andrew Ridgel at the plate.
I noticed Rispo's got a turquoise blue glove that he's using, and the blue gloves seem to be a trend. Several Mustang players have blue gloves. I don't ever remember blue gloves back in the 80s.
Ridgel, notice you referenced the 80s in the game quite a bit.
Well, that's when I was in high school.
Certainly brings back memories when you get to come to a high school baseball field again. And Ridgel lifting this one toward right field, and that one's down off the wall. Extra bases for Andrew Ridgel. A one-out stand-up double here in the bottom of the second.
That ball hit the base of the wall. That was a nice opposite field shot right there. Again, I don't think the ball's going to carry well today. I think the wind has died a bit, but good power to the opposite field right there.
It's his fourth extra base hit this season. Third double, also has a triple. He has 6 hits on the year. 4 of them have gone for extra bases. And Ridgel, who also had a double and a triple in Game 1 yesterday, doubles here in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, great production from your number 8 hole hitter. Good replay there, Tim, on that ball he hit. Right fielder never had a shot at it, and hit actually a couple feet up the wall.
So here's the freshman Jacob Ward. Watches for a strike. Jeff, he went 2 for 2 in Game 1 yesterday. He had a single and a double and a run driven in. He scored 2 runs in that first game. Also scored another run in Game 2. Comes in hitting .273 on the season. 3 hits in 11 at-bats.
That's Ward you're speaking of?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
At the plate now with a 1-2 count. Yes, Ward, 2 of his 3 hits on the year came in that first of the doubleheader yesterday, including that double that he had. He has scored 6 runs, has drawn 5 walks, at least 1 walk in 3 straight games for the 9-hole. Waiting on deck, Griffin Carney, who is swinging a very hot bat. It's low and outside, and you're right. If you can have production at the bottom of this order, you know what the top of the lineup could do, and it feels like it's just a really long lineup. not a lot of holes in it. And if they can continue to produce guys on base for the likes of a Griffin Carney and a guy in the hole like Grady Emerson, it seems like it's going to be pretty advantageous for the Cardinals to continue to score quite a bit of runs, as that is bounced in from second to third. Andrew Ridge will go, so after a double, he's now standing on third with a full count for Jacob Ward.
Yeah, the Cardinals have good team speed, too. You see that. They've got at least 4 or 5 guys that are legitimate stolen base threats every time they get on base. So you mix that with some good hitting, and, yeah, they're going to put up at least 5-6 runs most days.
That is sky toward left field. Lagusis is there. Ridgel tagging from third. It's a sacrifice fly RBI for Jacob Ward, and the Cardinals take a 2-0 lead.
Good job by Ward right there, elevating that ball and getting a sac fly to pick up an RBI.
That brings Griffin Carney to the plate. And he grounds that to third, hits off of Hughes, and Carney will reach. So he gets aboard on a couple ground balls on the infield to begin this game. It was credited as a hit his first time up as he beat out a bouncing throw to first. Here, going to go down as an error, we'd expect. So either way, though, the speedy Griffin Carney, who was caught trying to steal, attempting to swipe his 12th bag of the year in the first inning, gets on here with 2 outs for Grady Emerson.
Yeah, I think that was an error, but it was hard hit.
Emerson takes for a strike. Grady, 11 for his last 15 now after singling in the first inning. Up for a second time in as many innings as the Cardinals keep the line moving. Carney staying put at first base. Emerson lifts that to left. He's 2 for 2. Carney going from first to third. He's there in time. And Emerson advances to second on the throw. So 12 for his last 16 as he again goes to the opposite field for a base hit.
Yeah, every ball that he sees right now must look like a beach ball. He's just barreling everything up, and Carney was moving on the pitch, so got into third easily. On a ball to left field like that, normally you wouldn't go first to third, especially as hard as it was hit, but Carney was moving on the pitch and just kept wheeling around second.
So Braylon James, who reached on an error in the first, hits with 2 in scoring position and watches it low for ball 1.
Not going to find many teams better at first and second in the batting order than Carney and Emerson. These guys are just really going to set the lineup up for the 3-4 hole hitters more often than not. That's
James through the right side. Carney comes across. Emerson being waved home as well. And Braylon James with a 2 RBI, 2-out single. Runs driven in, number 5 and 6 for the year for the Cardinals center fielder. And they're ahead by 4 runs.
James put a good swing on that ball right there. Top spin single to right field. So Braylon James, who was
went 0 for 1 to begin the day despite reaching on the air. Gets a 2 RBI, 2-out single, and advances to second on the ball. Thrown here to Parkerson, who drew a walk in his first AB. James, he went 0 for 3 combined yesterday in the doubleheader, despite drawing 5 walks. So he was on the base paths. He drew 5 walks, went 0 for 3, but 2 RBIs with 2 outs there to bring home Carney and Emerson.
Yeah, I think in the pregame I mistakenly said he had a hit, but maybe that's because he was on base so much with the walks.
Parkerson lifts this toward left. That will be down. Coming across to score is Braylon James, and Jake Parkerson continues to hit. He's on a 7-game hit streak, and Jake Parkerson drives in another run. 6 straight games that he's driven in a run, 7 straight games with a base knock.
Yeah, Cardinals looking to blow this one open early. Their hitters are seeing the ball well. There's really not many guys in that lineup that aren't swinging a good bat right now.
So Parkerson continuing to produce. Blaine McDonald now at the plate. And he hits it hard to short, and it's booted by Carter, allowing McDonald to reach. After he struck out in the first, he gets aboard. And the 9th different Cardinal coming up to bat here in the bottom of the second is the catcher, Hank Austin.
Yeah, they batted around, haven't they? Andujar led off this inning, and he's on deck.
So it's everybody really getting hits here for the Cardinals to begin this game. Austin gets a hold of this one toward left, back on it though to make the grab and retire the side is the Titans left fielder Lagousas. However, it's a 5-0 advantage for Fort Worth Christian. They have 8 hits already. We're through 2 on Tradio.
Draftline Sports Management is taking recruiting and NIL to the next level. With over 50-plus years of experience and athlete representation, we set the standard for maximizing value and creating opportunities. Draftline Sports Management is where the future signs first.
My name is Jason Weber, and our companies, JWC General Contractors and 88's Disaster Restoration, are proud corporate sponsors of Fort Worth Christian. My wife Jamie and our son Aiden and I love being a part of the Cardinal family. We believe in the mission and vision of FWC, and we know how important it is to support the Cardinal experience. JWC provides exceptional residential and commercial roofing, while ADH offers comprehensive disaster restoration. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me directly about how we can serve you. From our family to yours, go Cards!
I'm Stacy Pearson, and at Pearson Air, we believe in helping people with everything we do. We have been leaders in the multifamily HVAC industry since 1982, serving Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, and Denver. Uncompromised honesty, disciplined integrity, unequal value, and godly generosity are our core values. Check us out online at PearsonAir.com. Now come on, Cardinal Nation, let's go!
It's a 5-0 lead for Fort Worth Christian. So glad you're joining us on Cardinal Baseball Live. We're excited to be broadcasting a lot of the Cardinal baseball games here this year. And if you're tuned in on YouTube right now, drop a comment. Next inning, we'll be reading some of those comments live on our broadcast here on YouTube. So drop a comment, let us know where you're watching from, and we'd love to shout you out on the broadcast in the bottom of the third. So be sure to do that, and we hope to interact with you here on Cardinal Baseball Live, but it's the Cardinals offense that is interacting with the base paths quite a bit. Already 8 hits, 5 runs through 2 turns at the plate. For the Cardinals, we start the top of the third, and Peg gets a swing and a miss. He has faced this Titans lineup one time. And now the second turn, the leadoff man rips it through the left side. That's Hayden O, and he'll be digging for 2. As he rounds first, he'll have a stand-up double to begin this top of the third inning. The MIT commit able to rip a double down the left field line to begin this top of the third inning.
Yeah, good job by Hayden O getting the barrel out right there for a stand-up double. Just to go back to how that Cardinals inning ended, that ball Austin hit would have been off the wall yesterday for sure, and the wind's the only thing that kept it in the left field, allowed the left fielder to play it today. That ball definitely was off the wall yesterday.
So it brings up Evan Carter. Hits it off the end of the bat, right back to the pitcher, and it's handled by Jacob Peg on to first in time. So advancing from second to third on the ground out back to Peg is Hayden O, but now there's one out for Matthew Achanes. He popped out to third in his first at-bat. Good pitch by Peg to force Carter to hit it off the end of the bat. Low and outside, a 1-0 count.
Peg's up to 44 pitches here in the top of the third inning, and there's no activity in the Cardinals' pen, so it looks like you're going to at least stretch him out to 70 pitches. That's the number that Coach Greer mentioned in an interview with you about getting his starters up to that number here in the tournament season.
Wondered if that number would be different for a guy like Peg, though, who did miss last week or didn't throw last week.
Yeah.
Same with a guy like Greg Smeds. However, no action right now, that's correct. And that is high. It'll allow the first run to score as Hayden O, who led off the inning with a double, advanced to third on a ground ball back to Peg, comes across to score as that ball scoots to the backstop, and it's a 5-1 ball game now.
Yeah, they did have activity earlier.
Yeah, Ben Rodriguez
was getting hot, but that was when Peg loaded the bases. I think Coach Greer was just concerned he wouldn't make it out of that inning, but now that he's made it into this inning, he's going to let him go for a bit. Yeah, let him go for a bit.
Yeah, because it was a 1-run lead after an inning for Fort Worth Christian. It was Peg out there in the top of the second with the bases loaded, 1-run game. Ben Rodriguez was getting hot. However, that was a pretty big moment in this game when, again, the walks hurting Peg in this outing. They certainly did in that second inning. He walked 2 and hit a batter to load the bases. Now issues his third walk of the outing there to Matthew Achanes, who reaches, but it was Rodriguez getting hot, bases loaded. He got out of it, getting a strikeout to end the inning. Then the Cardinals go on to score 4 runs in the bottom of the second. Although the Titans score 1 here in the top of the third after Hayden O leads off the inning with a double. He comes across to score. And so with 4 runs of support, perhaps that could extend the outing to give Peg some more work on the hill as well.
Yeah, I don't think they want to pull him this early. Ooh.
That is up and in.
It looked like a slider that didn't slide, just kind of stayed on the inside half.
Spencer Llewellyn at the plate. He flew out to right to begin the second inning. Titans went on to load the bases, stranded them all out there. Popped up right side again. Griffin Carney has it, and there's 2 outs. Cardinals have been pretty sure-handed. That a fairly easy play for the sure-handed Griffin Carney, but overall they have been playing some quality defense around, and they've turned double plays very frequently. They have just played the way that Rusty Greer would hope, it feels, in that department as well. In terms of just overall team defense, they've done some good things, and that has popped up. Carney again is right there. So on back-to-back pitches, the second baseman, Griffin Carney, gathers some fly balls and then retires the side. Peg works around. A 1-out walk, however, a leadoff double comes across to score. It's a 4-run lead for the Cardinals. They have a chance to add on in the bottom of the third when we come back. Four-run lead for the Cardinals. We start the bottom of the third inning. Antonio Andujar. Well, Jeff, he is the one who led off the 4-run second inning for Fort Worth Christian. He leads off the bottom of the third here with a 4-run lead, and it's a ground ball. Carter at short. It's on to first, but unable to make the squeeze at first is Achanes. It comes out of the leather, and Antonio Andujar will reach. Another defensive miscue by the Titans, allowing a runner to get aboard.
Yeah, the Titans defense has certainly given the Cardinals a few extra base runners here, and actually they Grapevine benefited from a couple misplays also in that game one.
So that'll bring up Andrew Ridgel. Really smoked a ball last time up. And he has had that production, as we mentioned, 4 of his 6 hits now for extra bases this season.
Yeah, he hit that ball off the right field wall in his last at bat. And you mentioned all the extra base hits he's had already this season.
And this
down
might be
again.
extra bases here for Ridgel. It bounces out in right. He takes a healthy round around first, and he stays put there. And Duhar gets all the way to third, and there's runners on the corners. Now for the 9-hole, Jacob Ward.
Yeah, Ridgel didn't hit that one as well as he hit the last ball, but dumped it out there in right field for a clean single. And Cardinals got first and third here, nobody out, and Ward stepping in.
So Ridgel now 4 for 9 at this Raider Invitational. He is seeing the ball well here at Wiley. Doing a fantastic job at Wiley East. 4 for 9. Had a pair of hits in game one yesterday. He's already got 2 today. Runners on the corners, nobody out. Jacob Ward, a little check swing, bloops out into the outfield, and a diving stop is made out in center. Cox comes in to make the grab, and Ward, little check swing, still got out to the outfield. Didn't get all of that, but it flips the lineup card back to Griffin Carney.
Nice play by Cox out there in center field. It looked like that ball might fall for a second. The middle infielders weren't going to be able to get there, and Cox came a long way to get it.
And Griffin Carney, at least according to Game Changer Jeff, 2 for 2 today. So both of his ground balls on the infield ruled as hits opposed to errors.
No question about the first one. The last one I thought was an error, but it was hard hit, so friendly scorekeeping. No, that won't be the first time you benefit from that.
Runner is off in Ridgel. He gets to second easily, and a run will come home as well as Antonio Andujar is standing up and scoring to extend the lead. It's a 6-1 advantage for Fort Worth Christian. Griffin Carney at the plate, hitting 2 for 2 today. And it's his third straight multi-hit game for the Cardinals leadoff man. Had 3 hits in game 1 yesterday, 2 in game 2, and now 2 here today. So 7 hits already here in this Raider Invitational on a 6-game hit streak.
Another misplay, though, by the Titans there, letting that run come in from third. Coach Greer was holding him up at third until that ball cleared the infield. One of the middle infielders should have had that throw up the middle.
And so Matthew Brenner, the new arm on the hill, fires it low. Brenner's first inning of relief after Caden Rispo went 2 innings, allowed 8 hits, 4 runs that were earned, 5 runs overall, had 1 strikeout and 1 walk, and now it's Brenner. And Carney pops that foul. Carney was so outstanding last year for the Cardinals. Got a lot of accolades in the postseason with all-state honorees. Average continuing to climb up for him over the last couple of days, hitting just shy of 400 now on the season in the midst of his 6-game hit streak. And that is a little dribbler. You'll have to get rid of it quickly with the hustling Carney down to first, and they do just that. So Carney retired. Llewellyn with a nice play at second. He throws it over to Echanes at first. It advances Ridgel all the way to third. But now there's 2 outs for Grady Emerson, who is 12 for his last 16. He's 2 for 2 here today. And Emerson takes the first outside. Grady Emerson, he got a hold of a ball yesterday. I think it's still traveling. He torched the baseball for his first home run of the season.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen a home run at the high school level that was any more impressive than that one. It was above the lights, and I felt like it was almost still going up as it cleared the wall.
And a 3-0 count to Emerson. Mentioned he is 12 for his last 16. He is 14 for 24 on the year, hitting .583 now, being 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles to the opposite field. And he takes a 4-pitch free pass. Grady Emerson has also done that at a high level this season. His 10th walk drawn now here in the 10th game of the season for Fort Worth Christian.
Yeah, I felt like they were pitching around him right there, and who can blame him as hot as he is. Of course, Braylon James had a single to right field in his last at bat to drive in a run.
He takes a hack. His 2 RBI 2-out single last time up, driving in Carney and Emerson.
Okay.
And he skies that towards short. Carter is there. So the Cardinals strand a couple, but add one back to maintain a 5-run lead after 3 innings of action on Tradio. So new pitcher into the game. It's Antonio Andujar. And first one popped up right side. And center fielder Braylon James will come over to make the grab. So Antonio Andujar, one way to settle in your first outing of the season. You get a fly ball out, and Antonio Andujar, he was a second-team All-District selection last year. The senior first baseman is able to get Wildbacher to fly out to center. 1 pitch, 1 out for his first pitching appearance this season, Jeff.
Looks like he's got a pretty good breaking pitch, and fastball's decent also. A little surprised we haven't seen him sooner.
That is grounded to Emerson. Throws it on to Ridgel, who's now at first, and there's 2 out. So a little change in the defensive alignment for Fort Worth Christian with Antonio Andujar, who started the game at first. He moves to the mound, and Andrew Ridgel, who was in left, now moves to first, and that puts Jake Parkerson now out in left field.
Well, interesting.
That scoots through the right side there by Lagusis.
Started to say Ridgel, the first time I did a game for Fort Worth Christian, I noticed he was playing left field, and he's been playing predominantly left field, but on the roster they have him listed as a first baseman. So my guess is he's played a lot of first base where he finds himself right now, but also hasn't looked bad in left field either.
So Ridgel at first, now Parkerson in left, Andujar on the hill, Lagusis at first after the single, and Wharton Dyke is up at the plate. So 6 runs on 9 hits for the Cardinals here in this matchup. They lead by 5, just 1 run on 2 hits by Centennial, but the Titans have committed 3 errors themselves, and that has been fairly costly to them on defense. Andujar leaves it upstairs.
That was that curveball I talked about. He got it a little underneath that. He just stay on top of it and bring it down in the zone.
A ball and a strike here with 2 down. Does have some good break, a little bit of more north to south, 12-6 action, at least on the shape of that pitch, but can't catch the zone with it for the right-hander, and the senior now pitching with a 2-1 count to the 9-hole. And he lays one in, even count. So retired the first 2 quickly, then Lagusis got a single. He's at first base, and Wharton Dyke, who struck out in his first at-bat, does it again. Antonio Andujar with a clean inning of work, works around a 2-out single, and the Cardinals by 5. We go to the bottom of the 4th. We start the bottom of the fourth inning, and the first one low and out here to Jake Parkerson. All he's done over the last 6 games is have 10 runs driven in and be on a 7-game hit streak as well. 1 for 1 in this game. Another big bat in this lineup. He lifts this towards
trying
left.
to bring that back. It did.
And hits off the leather of Lagusa's just in foul territory.
I'm not sure that ball wouldn't have landed fair. It was funny how the wind moved that from foul back to towards the fair zone. Again, we're sitting right on the first base side looking down that left field line, so we have a great view of that.
The arm on the hill, Matthew Brenner, who kicks and delivers, and that called for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Jake Parkerson.
Yeah, Jake didn't like that last call. I don't blame him. That looked low and away to me.
That is low and away right there, and it makes it a 2-2 count. Parkerson singled and drove in a run in the second inning. He's been on twice and mentioned a 7-game hit streak, 10 ribbies over his last 6 games as well. And there's another knock. A couple base hits this afternoon for Jake Parkerson.
Right back up the box.
How about this for a batting average, Jeff? He has now 11 hits in 21 at-bats, hitting .524 now on the year, Jake Parkerson. After his 2-for-2 effort so far today. So another north of 500 hitter in this Cardinals lineup is the cleanup man in Parkerson, who reaches to begin this bottom of the fourth inning. And McDonald grounds it. 4-6-3, and there's 2 outs.
Yeah, Taylor made double play ball right there, but the thing about the Cardinals, that was a ball that was barreled up, is they're getting a lot of good swings. Sometimes you hit one square like that right at somebody, and they're going to get a double play, but you keep taking good swings at the ball like that, and good things are going to happen long term.
So the backstop, Hank Austin watches the first for a strike. Brenner on the hill, Wertendijk behind the plate, Hughes and Carter on the left side, Llewellyn and Achen is on the right side of the infield. Lagusis, Cox, and Wildbacher out in the outfield. As that's foul tipped back, and now an 0-2 count. 5-run lead for Fort Worth Christian here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Rusty Greer squad looking to win 9 of their first 10 games to begin the year.
Well, and you mentioned the walk numbers early. That just speaks to how good their offense has been to be able to overcome in all but one game the walks on the mound. And I think we'll see Andujar back out on the hill again. I'll tell you, if he keeps pitching like he did in that last half inning, we're going to see a lot more of him.
All righty. Well, it is the Raider Invitational, and the Cardinals gladly accepting that invite because they've been playing well. We'll continue next. We're back to action here from Wiley East. We teased it earlier, and I think a speedy frame actually maybe had us an inning or two delayed, but as promised, we're going to get to those YouTube comments, and make sure to drop a comment, like, subscribe, so you can always know when we're going to do Cardinal Baseball Live broadcasts this season. They're going to come throughout the duration of the season, and we'll try to be at every game we can be, but excited to do that. And for Fort Worth Christian and Rusty Greer, they are out to a 6-1 lead, looking to continue on what has been a fantastic start to this season. Antonio Andujar out for another inning of work. It's the Titans who now hit for their third turn through the lineup, and the best hit today has come from the man at the plate, at least for Centennial. It was a double to lead off the third inning for Hayden O. He ripped it down the left field line. But Jeff, enough of the teasing. Let's get to some of those comments. Doug Williams says, very excited this year for my nephew Blaine McDonald to be joining an elite program. He's a good ball player, and I hope he gets a ride with a college scholarship as well. And if he continues to play the way he is playing, Jeff, there's no doubt that Blaine McDonald will be able to do that. And he has been really impressive here this season. Also, Allie Davis says, proud of y'all for pronouncing Wartendijk correctly. Go Miles. Hashtag best catcher. Love Sis and West. So someone from the opposing team in Centennial. Also, those that are faithful to Fort Worth Christian, both joining us, and all welcome here on Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. So glad to hear that Jeff Knipper is nailing the pronunciations today. Jeff, thank you so much for helping us. I know that's a department I can struggle with sometimes. I rely on those pronunciation guides quite often, and sometimes we don't get them in time, but glad to have your support here today with that, as it's fouled away right side.
Yeah, you're the only one that's said that name, so I'm going to have to give you 100% of the credit there. But as far as Blaine McDonald goes, I made this comment, I believe, when I watched him at home. He already looks like a college player. I mean, he's only a junior, but he's well put together, and to me, certainly looks like he has the ability to play at the next level.
Fouled away right side. Yes, Blaine McDonald. He punished the baseball yesterday, had 2 doubles. I mean, he had a day to remember at the office yesterday. We talk about skipping school, right, or missing school. We're not really missing it, but you're missing it. And, well, he had 8 RBIs yesterday on that quote-unquote missed school day for Mr. McDonald. So it was phenomenal what he did at the plate. Not only did he produce, but he produced with runners on the base paths, and all in all had 8 RBI, scored a run, drew 2 walks, and he ended up having 3 hits, 2 of those being doubles. So certainly you've got his uncle proud watching on the YouTube stream. And that is another ball lifted toward left, but gathering to make the catch out of the outfield for the first out as Andujar is settling in. And once again, it's Jake Parkerson who comes up to make that play out in the outfield.
Interesting where that ball was caught, and that speaks to the defensive alignment that the Cardinals play. That ball would normally be in the gap, but you see how far Parkerson is off that line out there. He caught that basically in line with the light pole out there, and that is usually a gapper. But Coach Greer, and I got to give Trey Bell credit here, he's the one that told me Rusty Greer prefers to play his outfielders shading the gap significantly, but you see how much room they have down the line. So you give up in one area to get another area.
Andujar fires, it's lifted toward right, and I think it's always nice when you can make someone's day, and when you give Trey Bell credit, I think that makes his day. So big credit to Trey Bell.
Yeah, no, Trey has mentioned that to me even before we started doing Fort Worth Christian games. You know, that's how Coach Greer aligns his outfield, and it's obviously prevented a double right there. That would have been a double for Hayden O.
Yeah, Coach Greer has his team extremely prepared, aligned in the right manner as well. Evan Carter at the plate. And again, if you are watching and we just read some of the comments, we'll do it again throughout the broadcast. Make sure to drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from, as we'll try to shout you out here on the broadcast. And thanks for spending some of your time this afternoon with Jeff Knipper and myself. It's a strikeout there for Andujar. Carter goes down. It brings up Matthew Achanes here to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. Andujar working well here at his first outing of the season for Rusty Greer. Overall, the pitching has held down this Centennial lineup. Just 1 run on 2 hits so far. 6 runs, 10 hits for Fort Worth Christian. Andujar, an inning and 2/3 under his belt now. A pair of punch-outs, just 1 hit. And no runs surrendered for him, as it's fouled back by Achanes at the plate now.
Well, Andujar is within 1 out of 2 innings without a base on balls, and I'm not sure we've seen a Cardinal pitcher work 2 innings without at least 1 walk. So that is a point of emphasis that Coach Greer mentioned in his interview with you. So assuming Andujar gets this next out without walking anyone, I know the Coach Greer will be happy about that.
It is a good point to start this ball game for Fort Worth Christian. You had an outing where, in a similar light to Greg Smads, it was the second outing instead of third, despite being the third weekend. There's a swing and a miss. Andujar dealing 2 shutout, 3 punch-outs. So after Peg goes 3 innings of 1-run ball, Andujar threw 2. And yes, no free passes. They're up by 5. We go to the bottom of the 5th.
Hi, I'm Spencer Perkins with Streamline Landscape. We're excited to be a corporate partner and the official landscape provider for Fort Worth Christian School. Streamline is a full-service residential and commercial landscaping company. It will be our pleasure to work with you to achieve your outdoor living space, just like we've done at the Hagen's home. Go to streamlinelc.com and we can get you a free quote today. Go Cards!
I am Jesse Hagan, and TNS Products is proud to support Cardinal Athletics. We have provided paper and composite tubes, cores, and cans, edge wrap, and other packaging materials to over 10,000 customers for almost 40 years. My wife Charlie and I, and our girls Lauren, Peyton, and Kaylee are proud to be FWC Cardinals.
Draftline Sports Management is taking recruiting and NIL to the next level. With over 50+ years of experience and athlete representation, we set the standard for maximizing value and creating opportunities. Draftline Sports Management is where the future signs first.
Bottom of inning number 5, the Raiders Invitational in progress, and Fort Worth Christian leading 6-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. They will have another 10 a.m. game tomorrow, Jeff. They take on Anna. So after a pair of wins yesterday, a 6-1 lead right now, and then they take on Anna tomorrow before picking action up. Their schedule continues on Thursday. They'll have a doubleheader on Thursday at Sherman, and then they play Saxe as well. And looking at the schedule,
it's going to be a little chilly tomorrow morning,
yes,
too. Not quite as chilly as it was this morning, but it's going to be in the low 50s, at least at first pitch.
Fouled away right side. It's Antonio Andujar on the hill. Opportunity to talk about what he's done on the hill, even though he's at the plate right now as well. Jeff, 0 for 2 here in this game. But his first outing, at least in relief of Jacob Pegg, who went 3 innings of 1-run ball, has been pretty good so far. 2 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 3 strikeouts, and most importantly, no walks for a team averaging nearly a walk per inning. The one guy who really hasn't walked many guys is, well, the guy who pitches more than anybody, Ben Rodriguez, 3 innings and 1 walk all the year, but now Andujar with no walks. There is strike 3, Wharton Dyke. The catcher throws it down to first. He's got some fans watching him, and well, he's able to make it and avoid the drop third, runner reaching, and throws it down for the first down. So Andujar retired, 0 for 3 pitcher right now in the ball game as well. And
a pinch hitter right here.
Hunter Hampton now hitting in the spot of Andrew Ridgel here in a 5-run ball game.
Wonder if maybe there's a couple guys warming up down in the Cardinals bullpen. I wonder if maybe Ridgel's one of those guys and possibly why he isn't hitting right here.
Yeah, Ridgel's effective on the hill. I mean, he had a pretty good outing his last time on the rubber. Hunter Hampton, though hard to do better than what he's doing this year. Albeit small sample size, he's hitting 1,000. 1 hit and 1 at-bat.
That's all you can do if you had 1 at-bat. You can't have more than 1 hit.
A 2-0 count. It's outside. So he's 1 for 1. He had a single. He scored 4 runs, though, because he comes in as a courtesy runner quite frequently. Getting a chance to hit here, Hunter Hampton. A 3-0 count. Ball 4. So Hunter Hampton will reach. He scored 4 runs, as we've mentioned. No stranger to the base paths. And his second plate appearance of the season results in a free pass as he hitting for Ridgel, and a good point. You'd think we would see Andrew Ridgel at some point on the mound, because he already has 2 appearances this season, yet to throw here this weekend. But Ridgel so far in the year through 2 starts, he went 3 innings against Liberty Christian and surrendered no runs. That was the outing I was referring to as where he was pretty effective. However, you saw him against Cornerstone, and he went 2 2/3 and surrendered 4 earned runs. So he's had 1 pretty good outing, 1 outing where he had a little bit of struggle, but definitely an effective arm in Ridgel, who we could potentially see. As that is softly tapped to third, but booted. And Hughes can't handle it. Jacob Ward reaches on what will go down as the 4th error of this ball game by this Titans defense.
Yeah, remember that start Ridgel had against Cornerstone. He kind of breezed through the first 2 innings, and then all of a sudden Cornerstone's bats caught fire in that 3rd inning, and they were had a couple of doubles, and before they made a pitching change. It was really odd because he shut them down fairly easily in the first 2 innings.
Griffin Carney up to the plate. Runners on first and second, an 0-1 count.
Yeah, Carney didn't like that call right there. He thought it was down, and umpire has called a couple down there. That one did look below his knees.
Unable to locate the breaking ball. And I think when we talk about hitters and their seasons, it's easy if a guy starts 0 for 10. Say somebody starts 0 for 10 at the plate, Jeff, or 0 for 5. It's easy to start to press a little bit, you know, when you go 0 for at the beginning of the year. But so many guys have started scorching hot. But throughout the season, everybody goes through a slump. It's baseball. But sometimes the starts can get magnified. If you look up and you're hitting in the 100s, man, that could be tough, and it can kind of keep you in a spiral maybe longer than you'd think. but that doesn't seem to be the case for pretty much this entire Cardinals lineup. When you see them hitting 500, I don't know what type of effect that has. I guess the point is everybody's going to have that 0 for stretch as it's lifted towards short. Carter is under it. He's called off by Llewellyn, who catches it behind the bag at second. Infield fly rule was called with runners on first and second and less than 2 outs anyway. So that's the second out. Carney is retired. But the point I'm trying to make, Jeff, is everybody's going to go through a lull, but sometimes at the beginning of the season, it's a little bit more magnified than if a guy in the middle of the year goes through a couple-game hitless stretch. And so for Fort Worth Christian to start this hot, it really feels like it can just give them some confidence that they can take with them the rest of the year.
Yeah, I am a believer that hitting is contagious. It's going to go foul.
Well, it has been contagious for this guy, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Grady Emerson. Hard to describe the way he has played, other than most would say it's expected. Some scouts regard him as one of the top high school prospects that they not just see this year, but that they've seen in a long time. And the left-handed hitting shortstop is up at the plate. And he takes one outside. Now 14 hits and 24 at-bats. He's 12 for his last 16. 5 of his 14 hits have gone for extra bases.
He just seems to do everything well. He obviously is a really good glove guy, got a good throwing arm, runs well, hits for average. We saw him hit for power yesterday. There just doesn't seem to be anything he can't do.
Agreed.
And he really makes it look easy. He's one of the smoothest guys I've seen at the high school level.
And he watches that high. I mean, his glove is next level. Many project him to be able to stay at that position. A lot of high-level prospects sometimes, they may project at a different position than they currently play. Not for Grady Emerson. A lot expect him to play and stay at short as he continues his career that looks to be extremely bright. The 3-1, and Emerson through the left side. Grady Emerson continuing things. He'll drive in a run. 13 for his last 17, and 2 come across to score. No, just 1. Emerson will reach all the way to third, but it doesn't matter because the side is retired. But Grady Emerson, with his 3rd hit of the day, reaches for a 4th time. It ultimately ends the inning. We'll get a glance at that play at the plate.
Yeah, Coach Greer didn't like that call. Let's see. I thought he got there also. You know, I think the umpire might have been right. I don't think he touched the bag before he got tagged.
It was a bang-bang play. And that look, it's hard to argue.
Yeah.
Especially with it being so close. You got to go with the call on the field, and it's hard to argue that his glove got in there. But it looked like as soon as he was touching it, he was getting tagged. And so you were right about Andrew Ridgel, though. He's going to be on the hill. But so Grady Emerson, 3 for 3 today. Like all 3 hits to the opposite field. And now 13 of 17.
It's incredible. It's just fun to watch him hit because he never tries to – he kind of takes what the pitcher gives him, which for the most part they work him away, and he's gone that way with it. But you saw when he gets a pitch that he can turn on, what he did with that yesterday. But it keeps him from pulling off the ball, and as a result, he always seems to hit the ball in the barrel.
And many people, I mean, when you're going to hit close to 600, I know we say a lot of guys are going to slow down. I mean, yes, he probably won't be hitting at a 13 for 17 clip the entire year. However, I mean, that's kind of just who he is. I mean, I don't think a lot of people, he's not going to slow down too much, you don't think. I mean, I don't know if he's going to hit 600-700, but, I mean, this is a guy that if you're going number 1 or number 2 overall in the draft, I mean, you're probably going to be expected to have pretty gaudy numbers. And you mentioned video game earlier. It feels like he is playing a video game, but the sliders are down. I mean, you've played video games before. It's hard to even have that good of numbers in a video game. I mean, he's got to be playing on rookie mode. He looks like a man amongst boys.
Well, that's the thing. He's such a good talent that, and he's played it. The Team USA. He mentioned in an interview that he just come back from Japan and hit the weight room. Well, he was in Japan because he was over there with Team USA. So he's seen the, elite level. This is good high school baseball, but he's seen kids that are prospects, draft prospects. So, this pitching to him, I'm sure, looks just a little better than batting practice that the coach flips to him. It won't always be this easy for him, but there's a good chance he's going to hit over 500 for the season. I don't want to put too much pressure on him, but he's just that good. And honestly, when Grapevine faced him, we had trouble getting him out when he was playing at Argyle, and he's a better player now than he was by, I think, a fairly wide margin. But he was very good as a 10th grader as well as a junior.
So it's Andrew Ridgel, as you expected. The right-hander delivering. Third outing for him. First time, though, coming out of the bullpen. So that wacky ending to the inning, it looked like perhaps a pair of RBIs for Grady Emerson, just one, as the would-be second run coming across to score on his third hit of the day was called out at the plate. But Andrew Ridgel, third appearance for him as we begin the top of the 6th inning. And softly tapped over to third. McDonald to Andujar in time. So Antonio Andujar started the game at first, pitched a couple shutout innings, and then moves back to first and makes the catch on the McDonald throw across the diamond for the first out here in this inning.
Nice play by McDonald. He had to come get that ball and throw it on the run. Was just a slow chopper. Got the runner by a good step or more, but I actually thought it was going to be closer than it was.
Ridgel fires and it bounces. So Ridgel's first outing, he went 3 innings, allowed 0 runs. He surrendered 4 in his last outing, going 2 2/3. So 5 2/3 across 2 starts, but now coming out of the bullpen for the first time. Across those 5 2/3, 6 hits, 4 earned, 5 strikeouts, 5 walks, and a 4.9 ERA. And so we'll see what he can do in a situation where his team now leads by 6 after the Emerson RBI to extend the lead. A ball and a strike is the count after Llewellyn grounded out to third to begin this inning. It's Kason Cox up at the plate, who's 0 for 1. He was hit in the second, popped out to second in the third. Swing and a miss.
Look at a good curveball right there by Ridgel to get him swinging.
And just so people know, a programming note, Cardinal Baseball Live. We mentioned Jeff Knipper, Will Connerly, Tim Polster, Trey Bell, swing and a miss. As Kason Cox goes down on strikes, Ridgel looking good to begin things, but a programming note for you just as a reminder, not a reminder, probably just to tell people if they didn't know, as we still get accustomed to the broadcast schedule throughout the duration of this season. The broadcast tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for this Raiders Invitational will not be happening here on Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. And like as we mentioned, hope and expect to do as many games as we possibly can, but Saturday's game, unfortunately, unable to make that one happen with the availability of our entire crew. However, this Rusty Greer squad certainly something we're going to continue to follow and see how they could do against an Anna team yesterday that beat this Centennial team by a run, 3-2, held this Centennial team to just 2 hits in that game yesterday. Centennial right now only 2 hits and 1 run. Meanwhile, the Cardinals have 11 hits on 7 runs today. There's a hit, maybe. Braylon James, though, says, I've got you covered out in center. Side retired, a clean inning of work for Andrew Ridgel. 3 up, 3 down, out of the pen, and the Cardinals continue to cruise along here in this one. Bottom half of the 6th upcoming on Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio. Seven runs, 11 hits, no errors for Fort Worth Christian. 1 run, 2 hits, 4 errors for the Titans, and 3, 4, and 5. Scheduled to hit, Braylon James lifting that to right, but a diving stop made to begin the frame, and James retired on the lift out to right. Weilbacher there. 1 gone here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, good sliding catch right there by that right fielder.
Parkerson first pitch swinging. He another guy hitting north of 500. He's 2 for 2 today. He's reached all 3 times. And the senior try to get things going. So James flies out to right. Now an 0-2 count here to Parkerson. Again, 2 for 2 today.
I think you mentioned he was hitting north of 500 for the season.
Yes, he's on a 7-game hit streak now. A 6-game RBI streak. And he is 11 for 22 on the season. He tries to continue on that. Parkerson got a hold of this one, and he has extra bases. Jake Parkerson with another double, his 4th of the season, and his 2nd game in a row with an extra base hit, his 3rd hit of the afternoon as he gets a hold of it to left center.
You see right here on the replay, he got that center fielder turned and hit that ball just to the base of the track out there, it looks like. I think he's my favorite to be player of the game right now, although there's stiff competition. Anytime you have a game with 12 hits.
Parkerson now 12 for 23 on the season. He's up to 521 on the year. Blaine McDonald now digs in. He certainly had a case to be the player of the game in either of our games yesterday. And he skies it right side, giving chase but out of play. A 7-1 ball game, and I agree with you, Jeff. I mean, you would think, so you got Ridgel, who is 2 for 2 with a run scored and a double, but Parkerson is 3 for 3. He's been on base 4 times, has an RBI. I would probably say Parkerson would take the cake at this moment in time.
That'd be my pick.
I mean, 3 for 3 and reaching 4 times with an RBI is pretty good. But you're right, a lot of hits going around. 4 different Cardinals with multi-hit efforts in this game alone. Carney has 2, Emerson has 3, Parkerson has 3, Ridgel also with 2 hits. You did a game where Parkerson was the player of the game last week, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I believe that was your buddy Mike Dixon doing a post-game interview with him.
It may have been. I left. I made a quick exit, but I know Grady Emerson was
your player
of the game, the first game of that doubleheader.
Figure he'll get that honor a time or two this year.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure he will, but there's a lot of other guys that are going to put up
that's true.
Good numbers also.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I remember talking with Rusty Greer for the first time before the season started and just said, hey, I know you got Grady Emerson. He brings in a lot of the headlines and kind of understand what he could do. And he said, yeah, that's obvious, his talent. But it was really cool because the day before their first game, that's when they had that national signing day. And just for the program to be able to send 5-6 guys to go play college at the next level, was really proud of that. It's a proud moment as a coach, I'm sure, to see guys go play beyond your program because for somebody who played in the major leagues, he knows what it's like to go play not just beyond high school, beyond college, but at this stage in their careers, he understands what it takes and is able to appreciate that at a high level because it's a difficult thing to do to go play on at the next level, but it seems like he runs his program with that attitude where there's a lot of focus on building character and trying to develop as a player so you can be prepared, yes, to be successful at this level, but hopefully for many of these players beyond that. And that is a staple of a lot of good high school programs. They prepare you to continue your career and continue to achieve success beyond where you currently are. And that seems like what Rusty Greer is doing.
Well, I'll repeat what I said before at least once is for a small school like Fort Worth Christian to have 5 or 6 kids going to play college ball next season is outstanding. It's really a lot of 6A schools won't have half that number, and we're talking about their enrollment at Fort Worth Christian can't be more than maybe 300 kids in each graduating class. I'm just guesstimating. I know Grapevine's got about 600 kids in their graduating class each year. So I would suggest their enrollment's probably about half of what Grapevine is. And even with back-to-back state championships, I don't recall a season in which Grapevine's had more than 5 kids moving on to play college ball, and a lot of times it's junior college ball, which is still, a nice step up from high school baseball. But we know at least in Grady Emerson's situation. He's headed to Texas if he doesn't go play pro ball.
Fly out to center. And they're doing all this, scoring 23 runs combined in the 2 games yesterday, and then also today as well.
That's going to be ball game.
Bats, and that's right, Jeff. Big ball game indeed. So the Cardinals win it 7-1. The final score. Fort Worth Christian continues their fantastic start to the year. They have won 9 of their first 10 with a 7-1 final today. Rusty Greer, you'd think he's got to be pleased with a 9-1 record to begin things. It's a 7-1 final score. Jake Parkerson, he's the headliner today, 3 for 3. He gets on board times and a double to boot. For Jake Parkerson, who's enjoying a 7-game hitting streak right now. The Cardinals back in action tomorrow morning against Anna. We will not have that for you here on Cardinal Baseball Live on Tradio, but be sure to follow FWC Baseball and Tradio on all social medias to be tuned for when we come on the air next, which will be very soon. Jeff Knipper, any final thoughts before we part ways for the evening?
Another impressive win for the Cardinals, and a little bit cleaner on the mound today than what I've seen in their prior 3 games. So I'm sure Coach Greer was happy to see the pitching finish with no walks right there in the last 3 innings. So looking forward to seeing the Cardinals again, and looking forward to working with you again soon, Will.
Well, he's Jeff Knipper, Tim Polster, Trey and Barry on the cameras. 7 runs on a dozen hits for the Cardinals. They move to 9-1 with a 7-1 final. We say so long from Wiley, Texas. The Cardinals win it 7-1.
We only play to win. That's on everything. We climbing to the top. Turn it up a notch. This is our house. Hey, we get that dub.